Names. We are recording this, just so you all know. Welcome everyone. It's always so great to see everyone back in this most nourishing Zoom room. It's even when we get to go back and be live and in person, I will always want to make sure I can do mindful poetry with all of you. It's just the best space. So for those of you who might be joining us for the first time, welcome. And I wanted to just let you know a little bit about our format and about who we're going to be working with today. So my name's Stacy Sims, and I'm the founder of The Well. And we're joined by Ro Schnoor, who is Associate Director of The Well. And I am happy to say we are all celebrating Ro because Ro got married yesterday at 2:22 p.m. 2/22/22, and it's just a big joyous celebration to Ro, who any of you who know The Well know we couldn't do what we do without Ro. So Mindful Poetry Moments is a collaboration between the On Being Project. So we have Eddie Gonzalez here from the On Being Project, and we're also hosted and supported in Cincinnati by the Mercantile Library. Amy is here, and the Wordplay, and also the Hive. And I'm just looking through to see who might be joining us from those organizations. And essentially what we do is we combine mindfulness and creative prompts, writing, and the love of poetry. So today our format, as always, is we're going to be welcomed into the space by Raina Dotson, who is now a board member of The Well and who I met at an On Being gathering many years ago, who's just a beautiful, resonant, gorgeous healer of a human who's now taking much needed time and space for her own healing and restoration from a lifetime of work in, I would say, generative fields within the government, as well as with all kinds of beautiful projects nationally, internationally. I think Raina and I both share a love of just trying to create safe spaces for humans, and Raina's deepening into her own right now. And we're joined also by Emily Little, and we met Emily in this space. And when we saw the poem today, the poem is What to Expect by Katie Manning, that was on Pedrego Tuma's podcast. And when we read that poem, we all thought of Emily, because Emily essentially often writes, I feel like, in her minivan with kids in the back while she's scribing some poems for mindful poetry moments. And we'll give you all in a follow-up email Emily and Raina's contact information if you'd want to reach out. Ellen Austin is not hearing all the words. Is anybody else having trouble hearing? Maybe I'm just talking so fast because I'm super excited. We have closed caption available thanks to On Being. So if you require closed captioning, you just click on the little CC button below. Thank you, Captioner Brooke, for being here. I think that's all I want to say to begin. We'll start with a meditation by Raina. We will then transition over to a reading of the poem, which you'll be able to see by Emily. Emily will talk about the poem, then give us prompts, and we will write for 10 to 12 minutes. We'll come back, and if you're inclined to share, you'll share, and then we'll talk about at the end how you can continue to share poems in upcoming mindful poetry events. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat, but you may wish to direct them to Ro, who will be looking for anything administratively to help you with. And I think that's it. So with no further ado, I'm going to mute myself because my dogs are making noise and turn it over to Raina.
Speaking of noise, you might hear some screaming in the background. That's just my child in the backyard. So don't be alarmed. So wonderful to be here with you all today. And this is really, I don't know about you, but this is one of the most joyous parts of my week, whenever, or my month, whenever we get a chance to be together for mindful poetry. And I think that, you know, in reading this poem, the poem that we're going to reflect on today, I laughed a lot, and it just reminded me of the absurdity of this journey that we're all on together. And as I am in my own healing journey right now, one thing that I've been working really hard to reclaim really is joy, and the depth of joy that we can have even while we are in grief, and even when we are coming out of grief, or whatever stage of grief that we may be experiencing. And so today, what I would like to guide us through is experiencing the joy breath together. And you can stay seated if you would like. You can have your cameras on or off. You might like to stand up. So I'm going to sit because I want you to be able to see me, but you might feel a little more relaxed for this particular breath if you are standing. So please get in a comfortable place, and let's take a deep breath together. Inhaling, exhaling. Let's inhale again and exhale. And as you exhale, I want you to notice where your legs are in relation to your hips, and try to space them about hip width apart. Notice where your feet are connected to the ground. As you take another breath in and out, releasing whatever tensions, whatever heaviness you have carried throughout this day. And as we prepare for this joy breath, I want you to take one more deep inhale and exhale. Now, as you inhale, I want you to raise your arms up to the sky. And I want you to hold your breath for a second and release your arms down to your sides and laugh out loud. And it's okay if it feels forced, but we're gonna do it again. So inhale, arms up. Hold your breath and laugh out loud. You should feel it coming from your belly. If not, we're gonna do it again because you're not silly enough. Inhale. Reach up and laugh. Woo! Shake it up. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. Woo! Stretch your arms straight up. Look to the sky. Bring your arms back down. Let's close our eyes one more time. Inhale. It's okay if you still have the giggles. Notice the difference in your breathing. Notice the difference in how your body feels in relation to the ground. Notice how your face feels. It's okay to smile. And as we call in joy into this moment, let us all set an intention for our time remaining together. And if you feel so moved, type your intention in the chat. I intend to hold on to joy. And I will hand it over to Emily now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Raina. That was amazing. I'm so glad my children are outside because I can only imagine what they would have thought that I was doing. You may notice I am actually hidden out in my closet. I have a bureau behind me. This is the quietest space in my house in this moment in my life. So here we are. So I just wanted to say a quick introduction of myself. Before I became a stay-at-home mom and accidental pandemic homeschool teacher, I was an ER nurse, and and then my second daughter was born, and I'm staying home with the kids now. And this has been such a joy being during the pandemic to have these mindful poetry moments. And it's funny, my dad is actually here today. My dad is a writer and a poet, and my mom is a nurse. And so I became a nurse, but never considered myself a poet. But I think it's just ironic that here we are together now, writing poetry together and also healing together. So I think maybe we all are kind of nurse poets in this room together. I'm going to start by reading a really fun poem today. Kate Manning, who wrote this poem, is a poet and a teacher, but she also has sons. And this is from a collection of hers that she described as a place to explore the wonder and terror of new motherhood. This is a found poem, so she took an existing text, which happens to be the index of a book, called What to Expect When You're Expecting, and used pieces of that index in alphabetical order for this poem. So here we go. What to Expect by Katie Manning, a poem made of items found in the index of the book, What to Expect When You're Expecting. Expect accidents. Expect acne, additives, age, and airbags. Expect alcohol, allergies, and altitude. Expect analgesics. Expect animals, ankles, and antidepressants. Expect autopsy findings. Expect bathing, bending, botanicals, and breaking news. Expect bruises. Expect cabbage leaves. Expect castor oil and cats. Expect cell phones, chemicals, chlamydia, and clay. Expect cleaning products, cocaine, and cold weather. Expect computer monitors. Expect copper, costs, and coughing exercises. Expect dance workouts and death. Expect diving, Doppler, driving, and dromedary droop. Expect embarrassment. Expect electric blankets and equal employment. Expect eyes and facials. Expect failure, fantasies, fast food, and feet. Expect fig bars, fingernails, fish, flying, football, and freckles. Expect fruit juice. Expect gardening. Expect German measles, grains, grief, and guns. Expect hair. Expect heat lamps and hiccups. Expect hiking, horseback riding, hot tubs, and hot weather. Expect hypnosis. Expect ice skating, insect repellent, and itching. Expect jet lag and jogging. Expect kickboxing. Expect KY jelly. Expect lacerations and laser eye surgery. Expect lead exposure and lovemaking. Expect manicures, marijuana, masks, and meat. Expect meditation, milk aversion, and moles. Expect mosquito bites and music. Expect nasal strips. Expect nicotine patches, noise, and NutraSweet. Expect online drug shopping. Expect optimism. Expect organ donation and organic produce. Expect outside influences. Expect paint fumes, pasteurization, peanuts, pesticides, and pets. Expect pins and needles. Expect raspberry leaf tea. Expect red palms, reduction, religious belief, and rest. Expect ribs, ripening, and risk. Expect rowing machines. Expect saddle block. Expect safety, saliva, and salt. Expect scalp stimulation and scuba diving. Expect seatbelts, sex, and shoes. Expect skiing and skin sampling. Expect smells. Expect softball, stockings, and stomach bug. Expect sugar, sunblock, and sushi. Expect tai chi, tears, teeth, and ticks. Expect toes, touching, train travel. Expect vaporizers, vegetables, and vision. Expect warts and water, workouts and witch hazel. Expect x-rays. Expect yoga and zinc. Whew, that was a lot of expecting. So this poem, there's so many funny parts to this poem, but I think one of my favorite things is that she just starts out funny. Expect accidents. That is the absolute opposite of what this whole book is about. This whole book is geared at avoiding all accidents because you're going to know everything and get everything right. And yet Manning starts this poem with expect accidents. The definition of an accident, I looked up and was just like laughing so hard to myself because the sentence it was used in. So the definition is an event that happens by chance or that is without apparent or deliberate cause. And the sentence example they gave was the pregnancy was an accident. So this is just a great way to start a poem with exactly what the opposite of the book is. And then she really gets into some of the doom and gloom of what the book, What to Expect When You're Expecting, brings out. I mean, acne, additives, age, and airbags. So we've got like awkward teenage stage rolled in with a car accident. Like pretty much if you were thinking that this was like going to be a good idea getting pregnant, you should have rethought that and canceled that and let's get back to the roller coaster that is pregnancy. This is what you're going to get from this book. And what's funny is that most people who are reading this book are already pregnant. So there's sort of not any getting out of it at the point when you're looking at this book. Oh, Ro, will you put it back to gallery view so that we can all see each other? Sorry. I like seeing everyone's faces, but even though the poem is fun to look at. So then something that came to mind for me is when you're pregnant, you do have a million questions. I think that's why they decided to write this book. Like there is a reason that they decided to put this book together, because and this is speaking from my own experience, it's suddenly you have a million questions about your body and the world around you, because suddenly you're not just driving the ship for yourself, but you're driving the ship for somebody else. And suddenly all of the things that you like ignored in your regular everyday became a little bit bigger. I think that this also was an experience that people had in the pandemic, right? There were things that you did every single day and suddenly they got bigger and maybe closer feeling. Something like grocery shopping that was maybe something you didn't think about suddenly became a different experience. And because I'm a nurse, I'm often a friend that people go to when they start to notice things about their bodies, and they'll call me and they'll say, I have this thing, oh my gosh, I think my heart is pounding. And it's like your heart pounded every time you went up the stairs, but you never noticed it before. But now you're paying attention to this body of yours that you've been living in. And so I think that that's why this book came out to begin with, is that we wanted to know what to expect. People want to know what to expect. But there's nothing like reading about organ donation to sort of actually put you in another whole space of more questions, actually, instead of sort of calming you. So usually when friends call me, I don't point them towards this book. I tell them to take a deep breath, and maybe joy laugh from now on. So another thing that, because this book is in alphabetical order, it has so many beautiful alliterations. There's so many rich just letters together. And so I've pulled out two that I kept wanting to come back to, and they're bathing, bending, botanicals, and ribs, ripening, and risk. To me, these 2 points in the poem really break from all the fear and control and release the control. They release the control. Bathing, bending, and botanicals remind me of the way that being pregnant makes you aware of your body, and it also makes you a little bit more tender with your body, because it's suddenly this vessel for some other human life. So to me, this bathing, this bending, this botanicals is like a reminder to be tender with yourself, the reminder that like there is a caring of not just this other human being, but of your own body and your own self, which we should all do whether we're pregnant or not. And then the second, I think, is my favorite moment in the poem, is the ribs, ripening, and risk. To me, that describes the heart opening that happens when you love another human being. And I don't mean just a baby. I mean a grown human being. I mean also maybe an animal, possibly also a plant, for those of us who have a favorite tree, or flower or house plant. But the ripening the book is referring to is cervical ripening, which is not ribs. But what I just suddenly pictured was this opening that the cervix does, but instead in your ribs. And the ribs is where you hold your lungs, where you hold your heart. And I just felt this like opening up of this ripening of your chest that happens when you have another being that you love so much, and it has to be, more space has to be created in your body for that to happen. And of course, whenever we open our chest, open our hearts open, there's risk. That is the other piece of it. There is this holding of more love, but with more love comes risk for heartbreak. So I love those 3 words together. The other thing I love about this poem is the funniness, and there were just a few ones that I brought out that I want to share with you that she does that the combination, like, I know she didn't take the whole index. The index is way longer than this poem, even though this poem is there's a lot of index here, but it's not the whole thing. And so she did just such funny combinations of ideas, and I just then kept picturing these images together. So one of them was hiccuping in heat lamps, like just this like very pregnant person sitting under a heat lamp and just like hiccuping, like not able to stop hiccuping under a heat lamp. Like, when has that ever happened? Like, never has that happened. I don't think that someone's been hiccuping uncontrollably under a heat lamp. Ice skating and insect repellent, like this image of spraying yourself down in the middle of the winter and it's turning into ice, and why are you putting insect repellent on while you're skating? Like, that makes no sense. Jet lag and jogging, like just running away from your jet lag. Like, if I run faster down this airport hallway, like, I totally will outrun the jet lag. not how it works. And then lead exposure and lovemaking. And I will leave that one up to your own imaginations. But that one really just made me crack up to think about what that could possibly mean in the real world. So, of course, it's absurd to think that those things would happen in combination. But I think that that's her point, that this book is just too much. There's too much. There are too many scenarios, and most of them are just added worry, and you probably don't need it. And then I think my last thing is my favorite point that this poem makes sort of more universally is that pregnancy is going to be a million things. And it's also not going to be a million things, because every pregnancy is unique and different, just like every experience is unique and different. And we can try and know everything there is to know, and we can try to get ahead of everything that's coming our way, but we really can't ever truly get ahead of what's coming our way. And we've all been living through a pandemic for almost 2 years now, and or sort of in full lockdown for almost 2 years. The pandemic's actually older than 2 years now. And it's like we couldn't have possibly gotten ahead of it in every way that we knew how. Sure, there are things that we could have prepared for, but we couldn't fully get ahead of it. And that's the same thing with pregnancy. Life has a way of always surprising us, even when we're going to be even if we're really sure we've got it all entirely figured out. And I just was thinking about all the different ways that that could be, to graduate school, to adopting a child, not just to pregnancy, to losing a child, to not being able to have a child. There's no way that you can prepare yourself for all of the things that are going to come your way. Starting or ending a relationship, getting married, like there's just no, you can do everything you possibly can, but there's always going to be things that surprise you and that you're not fully prepared for, and that you're going to have to take big leaps in order to figure out. And this poem made me reflect on my own 3 pregnancies. So I've been pregnant 3 times, and each one was totally different, and each time my expectations had shifted because of my prior experience. And it's funny, I always tell people that when I had like a big fear each time I got pregnant. The first time I got pregnant, I was afraid of the episiotomy, which, if you don't know what that is, I'm not going to go into it, but it's the scary thing they tell you like first when you get pregnant. And then the second time I was very scared of back labor, because I'd had back labor really badly with my first pregnancy. And then the next time I had a baby, I had a really bad postpartum hemorrhage and almost died. And so the last time I was pregnant, I was really afraid that I was going to die. And now I'm never going to be pregnant again, or that's not in the plans at least. And I have a new fear, and that's that I'm never going to get to experience that experience new and fresh and totally different again. And it's just interesting to me that I am one single person, and I've had a fully different experience in these different pregnancies, and who I was pre-pregnancy and who I was after pregnancy. And I loved listening to Padre Gotuma do this on Poetry Unbound, because of course he has a totally different life story than I do, and a totally different life story that Kate Manning does. And yet there was this like universality of this poem, and that I think is that like a single book, a single set of ideas isn't going to prepare us for the potential outcomes and experiences in pregnancy or in any way, shape, or form in any part of our life. But what we really want is to be able to have a little good fun, poking fun at books like this that make us believe that we might actually have control, and we might actually have fortune telling ability, and release that control and release our expectation a little bit. So that is what I had about the poem, but I have a couple of prompts for y'all, which I will put in the chat. I will say them first and then I'll put them in the chat. I hope I didn't go by too fast. I was a little bit nervous, and I think that laughing maybe made me even go faster. But so my 2 prompts for you today are, one of them is, we all have experiences. Many of them are complicated and surprising. So the first prompt is to make a list poem, or maybe it's not a list poem, of what to expect, dot, 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 when you are, dot, dot, dot. So could be as complicated as what to expect when you live during a pandemic, or as simple as what to expect when you are climbing a tree, or any other experience that you've had in between, if you were going to share all the different perspectives on it. And then my second idea for a prompt is, think about something in your life that you expected to be one way, and then it came out in a totally different way. So maybe where you start with, I always expected, and then all the ways that that thing went differently. And I will put those in the chat just so that it's a little easier to think on them. And then I think we're going to have 10 minutes to write, and then we will join back together and share whatever you want to share, if you want to share, and you don't have to share. And I'll hand it to Stacy and Ro for any logistics of moving into silent time.
All right, friends. So we're going to start writing, and I'll come back a little bit and give you a warning a couple minutes before the 10-minute mark. And we'll see you back soon. It was beautiful, Emily and Raina. Can't wait to write. We've got about 2.5 more minutes. All right, friends. Right to the end of your sentence or a thought. And come on back to our space. And we would love to hear from as many as we can squeeze in between now and the top of the hour. So if you would like to read, do us a favor and you can use the little reaction button at the bottom and raise your hand in the screen like Michael just did and Nina just did. If you're struggling to do that, you can also put a note in the chat. And Emily, we're going to turn it back over to you so you can call on the folks who have are raising hands.
Awesome. I'm going to start with Michael. I saw his hand first. Michael Verja?
I'm muting. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, and I'm going to read it, then I'm going to put it in the chat so you can see the line breaks, because line breaks are important to me. My filial grief when she passed was like postpartum hemorrhaging. Then I arrived to the light and realized there is no maternity leave. I find her expecting me there too, in our father's nursery.
Wow. Michael, that was lovely. I can't wait to see the break in that too. So definitely put that in the chat. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Nina, I think you're next.
That's worked, isn't it? Yep. Okay. What to expect when you are told to join a seniors chair Pilates class. It will feel like you're at a children's party about to play musical chairs. The hospital curtain screen in the corner will remind you why you're here. There are walking sticks in the gym bag corner and fit balls which look as if they may be laughing at the six-legged participants of this class. There are mirrors you will try to avoid. When the elderly gent to your right, who has to wear medical slip Velcro shoes, shows more flexibility and strength than you, you will feel a million tiny needles explode inside your heart. You will breathe through it and maybe cry a little. You will engage your abs, legs, and arms as you are instructed to breathe. And when it comes to the standing exercises, you will make friends with the pillar. Throw your arms around it as if it's your best dance partner ever.
Oh, Nina, I am in that room. The balls and the pillar. Oh gosh, what a way to bring us right where you are. Thank you. Hannah SG.
Thanks. I'm not on camera, but I am here. Yeah, thank you. This is my what I wrote. I decided to do try out an alphabetical thing, which was really interesting and I enjoyed and didn't think I would like as much as I did. So this is what to expect in your 20s. Expect absurdity. Expect acceptance. Expect breaking up, bagels, and brothers. Expect childhood cat. Expect death. See childhood cat. See grandmothers. See nobody else. Expect Ellie. Expect fantasy books and family and friendship and frolicking and failure. Expect goodbyes and grandmothers. Expect hellos. Expect ink and jobs and keys jingling. Expect loneliness. Expect laughing. See family. See friendship. Expect love. See longing. Expect making out. Expect maybe. Expect nonsense, joyful. Expect niece, expect nephew. Expect pandemic. Expect popcorn and poems. Expect planners, paint by numbers, and personhood. Expect queerness. Expect right sizing. Expect rooms. Expect sister. Expect trust and ugly and unless. Expect vibrators. Expect worry. See family. See friendship. Expect watercolors. Expect yes.
Hannah, you're not kidding. That alphabet really, whoa, wow. That was amazing and beautiful and not out of an index of a book, like right out of your head. That was incredible. Thank you for that. I'm going to jump to the next person who is in the chat who happens to be Carl Little.
Hey there. Whoops. Can you hear me? All right. So that Stacy just raised the bar. It's just impossible. But I did the same thing. I went with the what to expect thing. So this is what to expect when you are on an island. Expect a dock, a deckhand, and donuts. Expect eagles, egg sandwiches, empathy, and estuaries. Expect a grin, grace, and giant waves. Expect Ashley, Cyril, Louise, and Tony. Expect hallelujah, help wanted, and a handy woman. Expect a road, a red truck, rentals, and rage. Expect ospreys, orange crush, and ominous clouds. Expect the unexpected, underwear, and useful signage. Expect a family, a festival, a fragile shell, fingers. Expect honor, horror, honeybees. Expect ice cream, inlets. Expect love, long distance, laundry on a line, and lingering. Expect sandwiches, sunshine, and second guessing. Expect a ball field, bandanas, brilliance, boats, and beauty.
Thanks, Dad.
Sure, Em, anytime.
I'm going to jump back to the main screen hands and go with Elena.
Hi, everybody. This was so fun. I loved it. But mine is more like a question answer. What to expect when you find a primary care physician after a year of searching? Expect a reserved older man in a white coat and stethoscope. You got a fashionable young man with the deepest blue eyes you ever saw. Expect weighing 10 pounds lighter after eating a pint of strawberry ice cream the night before. You got weighing 12 pounds more. Expect a warm welcome after the bus is late and walking in the rain. You got, Ms. Green, you are past the 10-minute grace period. Expect a long wait for being late. You got enough time to take a deep breath and shake the rain off your back. Expect kudos for a normal oxygen level and a steady heartbeat. You got, are you depressed? You smile. Expect the world to go by and you got savoring the moment. Thank you.
I love all those expectations shaken up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elena. Wade, you're up next.
Right. Upon meeting your heroes, be prepared, for there is no such person as a hero. There's only you. And when you meet your hero, you might expect something magnificent. Blazing eyes, careless certainty, someone wrapped in legacy, yet every moment an act of creation. And in reflection, will you stand naked in your own fallen humanity, still alone? How could your own perfection survive meeting your hero? Well, that's easy. There's no such thing as heroes.
Love that. No such thing. I'm going to jump back into the chat to Ro. I think I saw you sneak in there.
Thanks. Yes, I usually don't share, but mine's a quick one. So I wrote, what to expect when moving in with your partner. Expect belly laughs, late nights, and arguments about landscaping. Expect back pimples, farts, and sharing a single bathroom. Expect afternoon sex, pregnancy scares, and forehead kisses. Expect errands as dates, creating chore charts, and then abandoning them. Expect neighborhood walks, porch hangs, and late night bonfires. Expect communication kerfluffles, redrawing boundaries, and deep honesty. Expect differences in decorating, deciding on paint colors, and drawing straws for whose turn it is to take out the trash. Expect board games, card games, and video games. Expect sick days, kidney stones, and hangovers. Expect to learn so many new things together and to experience the unexpected. Thank you.
Nice. I feel like those could be vows. Expect it all. Okay, I think we have time for our last two, and Stacy will give me the note your overtime if we need to cut things short. But Maureen, Medina, and then Jennifer will be after that.
Thank you. Actually, can Jennifer go first, if that's okay? There's just noise in my background and I just want to wait for a bit. Thank you.
Make a swap.
I thought you were backing out. I'm just kidding. Hi, I'm gonna read. I hope my writing is like terrible, so pray for me. Okay. I wrote what to expect when you're becoming. So I made it a little bit more kind of self-journey. There are gracious ways that time shows us how growth can sustain our endeavors. When something is irregular with the scene, growth smooths the scales back to paint a clear view of the abandonment, where tattered skins reside of the has-beens and done-dids of an age where ignorance was kin. We have stretched our dimensions into valleys and vowels of electric connects, changing the landscape of, excuse me, of the day to mold mountains from our minds. Now hold the terrains of being terrestrial mother as you emerge from the visceral cocoon as the pinkness of lessons bring you to becoming. Thank you.
Wonderful. I love the molding the mountains of our minds. It's great alliteration there. Oh, and following in that alliteration, Maureen Medina.
Thank you. And my handwriting is also good luck to me. What to expect when you're healing. 1, upheaval. You are not the same person, but you are more you than ever. Face yourself. This introduction was ordained. 2, grief. You have lost as much as you have found. Mourning and celebration can happen together. 3, waves. An ebb and flow of truth and uncertainty, rage and laughter, safety and uproar, noise and silence, overwhelm and clarity, dancing and heaviness. Ride the waves, swim in them, revel in the cleansing. 4, tears. Ugly cry, cry ugly, cry beautifully, cry joyfully, cry. Let all of you erupt and cascade. Let it all out and let it all in. Feel everything. This is your truth. 5, freedom. A moment of silence to acknowledge your freedom. What does it feel like? What part of your body just spoke to you? Was it loud or subdued? Listen, surrender, rinse, repeat.
I feel like that poem would be a lovely beginning to a poetry moment. I love the rinse and repeat. I think we got to everyone in just barely enough time. And I think we're ready. Stacy, we're going to read the poem one more time. So Ro's going to bring it up for us again. Oh,
Yeah, hang out before you hang on one sec. So before you read us out with a duet with the poem, just want to say thank you, everyone. As always, really stunning work. Just blows my mind every time. Please, you'll get an email from Ro, and we do love to collect your poems written form and put them in a place on our website where they get to live with a recording of our time together. Ro also just put some information in the chat, as well as Jennifer wrote a note about how to connect to Jennifer, and feel free to find each other in the chat. So a quick note, we're off in March, so we don't have a gathering in March, but April, since it's Poetry Month, we will meet every week, Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m. Yeah, it's a party in April, and we will be, there's a wonderful group of poems and poets and folks who are going to join us in April, and we'll take those writings and create our 3rd edition of poetry from our gatherings together. So please look for information about that. Ro, am I forgetting anything, or any of our other collaborators have anything I should be sharing with the group?
Well, an exciting thing in April as well, I'll add, is if you're in Cincinnati, and we'll make it a hybrid event. I am putting together what we're calling the Poetics of Pride, which will be our framework, but focused for LGBTQIA individuals. So if you're interested in participating, I'll be sharing lots of information about our gatherings and how to get involved in that too. So yes.
All right, beautiful humans. So let's get read out. We'll just listen to the poem. We'll do some waving, and then we'll see you soon.
I'll read the title, and then Raina's going to join me in this. What to Expect by Katie Manning, found in the index of What to Expect When You're Expecting.
Expect accidents. Expect acne, additives, age, and airbags. Expect alcohol, allergies, and altitude. Expect analgesics. Expect animals, ankles, and antidepressants. Expect autopsy findings.
Expect bathing, bending, botanicals, and breaking news. Expect bruises.
Expect cabbage leaves. Expect castor oil and cats. Expect cell phones, chemicals, chlamydia, and clay. Expect cleaning products, cocaine, and cold weather. Expect computer monitors. Expect copper, costs, and coughing exercises.
Expect dance workouts and death. Expect diving, Doppler, driving, and dromedary droop.
Expect embarrassment. Expect electric blankets and equal employment. Expect eyes and facials.
Expect failure, fantasies, food, fast food, and feet. Expect fig bars, fingernails, fish, flying football, and freckles. Expect fruit juice.
Expect gardening. Expect German measles, grains, grief, and guns.
Expect hair. Expect heat lamps and hiccups. Expect hiking, horseback riding, hot tubs, and hot weather. Expect hypnosis.
Expect ice skating, insect repellent, and itching.
Expect jet lag and jogging.
Expect kickboxing. Expect KY jelly.
Expect lacerations and laser eye surgery. Expect lead exposure and lovemaking.
Expect manicures, marijuana, masks, and meat. Expect meditation, milk aversion, and moles. Expect mosquito bites and music.
Expect nasal strips. Expect nicotine patches, noise, and NutraSweet.
Expect online drug shopping. Expect optimism. Expect organ donation and organic produce. Expect outside influences.
Expect paint fumes, pasteurization, peanuts, pesticides, and pets. Expect pins and needles.
Expect raspberry leaf tea. Expect red palms, reduction, religious belief, and rest. Expect ribs, ripening, and risk. Expect rowing machines.
Expect saddle block. Expect safety, saliva, and salt. Expect scalp stimulation and scuba diving. Expect seat belts, sex, and shoes. Expect skiing and skin sampling. Expect smells. Expect softball, stockings, and stomach bug. Expect sugar, sunblock, and sushi.
Expect Tai Chi, tears, teeth, antics. Expect toes, touching, train travel.
Expect vaporizers, vegetables, and vision.
Expect warts and water, workouts, and witch hazel.
Expect x-rays.
Expect yoga.
And zinc. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Beautiful work,
Yeah.
everyone. Thank you for being here, and we will look so forward to receiving your poems. We'll also look forward to seeing you again in April. And here's to joy, breathing, and expectation poetry style. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.